the co-founder of FutureSolve. FutureSolve is a trusted advisor to mid-cap companies and solutions provider to those firms. Today I'm here to talk to you about a really important topic and one that a lot of businesses struggle with, and that's how do you build and sustain high-performance teams? 95% of CEOs say their biggest challenge is in execution is how do they get their executive team and the organization aligned around what the purpose is of that organization and the strategy. So today I'm going to spend a few minutes with you just highlighting some of the lessons learned from FutureSolve working with business leaders around what are the 4 key elements that help to build and sustain high-performing work teams. And my focus today is going to be mostly on executive teams, but this clearly works in any construct in organizations. The 4 elements are simply alignment, ability, architecture, and agility. And we've chosen those words in descriptions, 4 A's, try to keep it as digestible as possible. And it's real important that not any one of those are a silver bullet, but actually the importance is how companies integrate the key components of all those 4 elements. So let me start with alignment, because many business leaders state that that's probably one of the most important areas of having high performance teams and executing your strategy well. And so when we say alignment, really what we mean there is, does my executive leadership team and the entire organization believe and buy into our purpose and our strategy? And are they committed to it? And will they take accountability for their own performance, their own actions and behaviors, as well as the accountability to provide feedback to their peers who may need to perform differently and or behave differently. The next element is another important one, and that's architecture. And when we think of architecture, we generally think of design in organizations, and that's really important so that you don't have barriers and people working in silos. But beyond that, do you have the right systems in place and the processes to measure and monitor and reward, again, the right types of results and the right kind of behaviors? That's alignment and architecture. Let's move to ability. And at FutureSolve, when we talk about ability and people, we really look at it in 2 dimensions. One is talent capacity. Does your organization have the current and potential future talent capacity to meet the business demands of today and of the future? And then the other dimension is collaborative organization and collaborative capability. And so that's really a simple way of saying that is the sum is better than all of its parts. Saying that is easier than doing it, and ensuring that, again, people are working together, that there's mutual understanding on what the strategy is, and that there's transparency and trust in working together, and that you're able to remove any kind of politics and or passive-aggressive behavior that may exist at the leadership team and or in the organization. That's the dimensions of ability, architecture, and alignment. And really the 4th A is equally important, and that's agility. And what we mean by that is, does the culture have this sense of working towards anticipating and being able to adapt and change as the needs change? And is there processes in place for continuous learning so that the people, whether they're the executive team and or frontline leaders, frontline teammates closest to the customer, that need to have that ability to learn either new skills or new approaches that are needed? And so that's agility, another important element around building and sustaining high-performing teams. Glad to be able to share some of those thoughts with you. And at FutureSolve, we look forward to potentially being able to work closely with you and your teams and helping to drive for breakthrough performance. Thank you.